The showroom of Elite Motors gleamed like a jewel box, all polished marble and chrome, the kind of place where dreams were sold for six figures. On May 15th, 2025, Daniel Harper, a 42-year-old CEO, stepped through its glass doors, but not as the titan who'd built the company from a single lot to a national empire. Today, he was just Dan, a guy in a faded denim jacket, scuffed boots, and a baseball cap pulled low. His mission was simple: to see his dealership through the eyes of a customer. He'd heard whispers of declining sales and rude staff, and after years behind a desk, he needed the truth. But what he found and what he did would turn the showroom upside down. The air smelled of new leather and wax, undercut by the faint tang of coffee from a counter where salespeople lounged. Sleek cars lined the floor, their curves catching the fluorescent lights, while a digital board flashed prices that could buy a house. Daniel lingered near a midnight blue convertible, running a hand over its hood. He looked the part of a working-class dreamer, maybe a mechanic or a delivery driver, someone who'd saved for years to even step foot here. That's what Tyler Bennett, the top salesman, saw when he sauntered over, his tailored suit screaming confidence. Tyler was 30 with a slick smile and a reputation for closing deals or chasing customers away. "Nice car." "Huh," Tyler said, his tone more appraising than welcoming. "You sure you're in the right place?" "Buddy, these aren't exactly budget models." Daniel's jaw tightened, but he played along, shrugging. "Just looking. Been saving up." Tyler's smirk widened, his eyes flicking over Daniel's worn clothes. "Saving? Huh, must have taken a while. You know, we've got a used lot out back, might be more your speed." A few customers nearby chuckled, and a receptionist glanced up from her phone, smirking. Daniel felt the sting, but he kept his face neutral, asking about the convertible's specs. Tyler barely answered, waving a hand. "Look, man, this car's for serious buyers. You want to test drive something? Maybe try a compact across town." The showroom buzzed with the hum of wealth salespeople pitching to suited clients, the clink of champagne flutes from a VIP corner. But for Daniel, the room shrank to the space between him and Tyler. The salesman's words weren't just rude. They were a symptom of everything wrong with Elite Motors. Daniel had built this company on trust, on making every customer feel valued, but Tyler was treating him like dirt. Worse, no one stopped it. A young couple browsing nearby shifted uncomfortably, and an older man in a blazer shook his head but said nothing. The staff, trained to spot real buyers, had written Daniel off. He was invisible, a nobody in their eyes, and the realization burned. Tyler leaned closer, lowering his voice with mock sympathy. "Listen, pal, I'm doing you a favor. These cars, they're for people with real money. No offense, but you're wasting my time." The words landed like a slap. The couple nearby gasped softly, and the receptionist stifled a laugh. Daniel's hands curled into fists in his pockets, but he didn't flinch. He'd faced worse hostile boardrooms, cutthroat competitors, but this was personal. This was his company, his legacy, and it was rotting from the inside. Tyler turned away, already scanning for a better customer, dismissing Daniel as if he were a smudge on the marble floor. The pressure built, a coiled spring in Daniel's chest. He could walk out, call a board meeting, and fire Tyler from the comfort of his office. But that wouldn't fix the culture, wouldn't show the staff what Elite Motors was meant to be. He thought of his father, a mechanic who'd taught him to treat every customer like family, rich or poor. Tyler's arrogance wasn't just an insult to Daniel. It was a betrayal of that vision. The showroom felt like a courtroom, with Daniel as the accused, judged for his clothes and his silence. But he wasn't here to lose. He was here to fight. Then came the spark. Daniel straightened, his voice cutting through the showroom's hum, calm but sharp as a blade. "You're right, Tyler. I'm not your typical customer." He reached into his jacket, pulling out a sleek black ID badge with the Elite Motors logo and the title CEO in bold letters. The room froze. Tyler's smirk vanished, his face paling as Daniel held up the badge like a gavel. "I'm Daniel Harper. I own this place, and you just insulted me in my own dealership." A collective gasp rippled through the showroom. The young couple's eyes widened, and the receptionist dropped her phone, her jaw slack. Tyler stammered, I didn't know." Daniel didn't let him finish. He stepped forward, his voice steady but laced with steel. "You didn't know because you didn't care. You judge me by my clothes, not my questions. That's not how we do business." He turned, addressing the stunned staff now gathering. "This company was built on respect for every customer, every time. You forgot that, and I'm here to remind you." He pulled out his phone, revealing a recording app he'd activated the moment Tyler approached. "This conversation is going to every branch. We're retraining everyone, starting today." Tyler's face crumpled, his bravado gone. The older man in the blazer nodded slowly, a faint smile breaking through. The tide turned in an instant. Customers whispered, some pulling out phones to record the scene. The young couple approached Daniel, the woman saying, "That was incredible. We almost left because of him." Daniel nodded, handing them his card. "Stay. I'll make this right." The staff, once complicit in their silence, now looked ashamed. A veteran salesman, Mike, stepped forward, his voice low. "Sir, I should have said something. I'm sorry." Daniel met his eyes, nodding. "You will now. We all will." Tyler, meanwhile, tried to salvage his dignity, mumbling apologies, but Daniel cut him off. "You're on probation. Tyler, prove you can change, or you're out." The showroom transformed, the air electric with a new purpose. Daniel didn't stop at words. He called an impromptu meeting, gathering every employee in the break room. He played the recording, letting Tyler's words echo, then laid out his planned mandatory customer service training, a new policy rewarding staff for inclusivity, and personal oversight of every dealership. "I'm not just your boss," he said. "I'm your customer, too. Treat me, treat everyone like they matter." The staff listened, some nodding, others staring at the floor. Tyler sat in the back, silent, his future hanging by a thread. By the time Daniel left, the dealership was abuzz. Customers who'd witnessed the scene stayed, drawn by his conviction. The young couple bought the convertible, shaking Daniel's hand. Posts on X exploded, with clips of the confrontation going viral. "Undercover CEO shuts down rude salesman," one user wrote, racking up thousands of likes. Another posted, "Elite Motors just got a wake-up call." Respect to Daniel Harper. The story spread, sparking debates about classism and customer service. Some called Tyler a victim of a tough industry. Others saw him as a symptom of a broken system. Daniel didn't care for the noise. He cared about the change. Back at headquarters, Daniel rolled out reforms across all 50 dealerships. He hired consultants to embed respect into the culture, and sales began to climb as word of his stand spread. Tyler, to his credit, took the training seriously, though he never regained his old swagger. Mike became a mentor, sharing Daniel's story with new hires. The showroom, once a cold monument to wealth, felt warmer, its staff greeting every customer with genuine care. Daniel kept his badge on his desk, a reminder of the day he became a customer again. This wasn't just about one salesman or one dealership. It was about the assumptions we carry, the snap judgments that shape our world. Daniel Harper didn't just expose a flaw, he dismantled it, proving that power isn't in a title but in accountability. His story asks us, what do we miss when we judge too quickly? And what could we build if we listened instead? If this resonates, share it. Let's remind the world that respect isn't a luxury. It's the foundation of everything worth building. The Ember, Eternary, the end.